Hey everybody, I am getting ready to go on a 4-night cruise on Royal Caribbean Independence of the Seas, and I am packing, getting ready to go, and I thought I would just make a video to kind of show you the things that I pack that I've learned over several cruises that are helpful to have, things that I don't need, how I get it all to fit in a small suitcase so I don't have that much to carry, and exactly what I do, some tips and tricks that I have learned over the years of packing. So here we go. The very first thing I do when I get ready to start packing for a trip is I get a notebook and I write down each day that I'm going to be gone. So this particular cruise will be Monday to Friday. So I'll write Monday, leave a big blank, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, and Friday with blanks in between each. And if it's a port day, I'll write beside the day what port I'm going to be at. And from there, I start putting in what clothes I need for each day. My standard packing method is just like one outfit per day, which is usually just like a pair of shorts and a tank top or a t-shirt, something that not too bulky, doesn't have a lot of pieces, doesn't take up a lot of room. And then I'll pack one dress for dinner each night. And again, I try to do something that's just comfortable, not too bulky. I try to pack dresses that I can wear the same pair of shoes every single night for dinner. And same with like during ports and stuff, I try to just be able to fit the same pair of shoes. I may pack one extra just in case my feet start hurting after a little while. And then I'll pack one swimsuit for every other day, just because, you know, you can rewear it, just give it a little time to dry. Now, I did go on a 3-night cruise a couple weeks ago, and I only packed 2 swimsuits, and I was definitely wishing I had another one. So I would say at least pack 3 swimsuits, just if you're like me and don't like putting back on a wet swimsuit. You want them to have plenty of time to dry before you have to rewear them. And from there, I pack one pair of pajamas to sleep in and just wear the same ones all 4 nights. At the bottom of my list, I'll do like extra stuff. I always pack just one extra outfit. It's usually just like a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt, just in case, I don't know, something gets spilled or I get rained on and need to change or something like that. Also, the extras will be like the shampoo and conditioner and toothbrush and toothpaste and hairbrush and some medicines and all of those kind of things. So I'm going to kind of walk you through, show you some things that I pack, and give you an idea of exactly what I put on my list. I've got everything laid out now of what I plan to take with me. These are my clothes, and then over here I've got some shoes and some just little extra things that I want to fit in, and then I've got my backpack that'll have my boarding documents, my camera stuff, and all of that. And I'm going to fit all the clothes into this suitcase, which is just a small, like, standard carry-on suitcase that you can tote onto an airplane. Now, on a cruise, there is no luggage limit. It's just personal preference for me. I don't like to pack more than I can carry because you do have to carry it a little bit. Since this cruise is so short, I plan to just carry my luggage on the ship. I'm not going to check anything. So that way, even though I have to keep it with me for just a little bit, once my cabin's ready, I already have everything I need. I don't have to wait for it to get there. And then on the last day of the cruise, I like to just tote everything off myself so that I can get on off early and first and get onto the car and get on the road and start heading home. Now on a longer cruise, I will check my luggage and just put a few things in my carry-on that I'll need before my luggage arrives to me. But since this one's so short, it's not a big deal to just tote around the bag for an hour or so. I'm going to take a few minutes and just kind of show you some of the like outfits I pack, what dresses I pack for the different theme nights and some things like that, and kind of just my standard packing method for clothes. This cruise has 2 theme nights for dinner. One is a cruise elegant night, and then the other is like a tropical Hawaiian night kind of thing. So for the cruise elegant night, I just have just a simple, I don't really go all out anymore on dressing up. Some people will wear big fancy dresses, but I just kind of have a simple black dress it's long, black top, kind of chevron print at the bottom, and then I have just some simple little sandals that match that I'll wear with it, and that's it, all I need. And so this will kind of, I can fold it up, it doesn't wrinkle, so it'll fit fine down into my suitcase. And another thing with the shoes, don't wear heels. You are on a ship, the boat sometimes is rocking, the decks are slippery, just wear flats, you'll be thankful for it later. And then some other dresses I have for just the normal regular nights of dinner is I just have this, just a simple little comfy black dress that, again, I can fold up really small, fit it right into my bag. And then I have these shoes. They're just I know these shoes are about wore out, but they're my favorite, and I haven't been able to find any more. But I have these shoes that I wear every other night with my dresses because they pretty much match everything, which is why they're my favorites. But I have this dress again, just a simple kind of flowery long dress that folds up really small, and I may wear this one for the tropical night, or I also have this one that could pass as the tropical night. Another thing I pack for all of my dresses is a simple just little pair of black shorts, because it can be kind of windy on the ship and you don't want to give everybody a show if the wind grabs your dress. And another thing I pack is just a cardigan, just because sometimes it's cool in the evening on the ship, especially like if you go outside and you're at sea, it can be kind of windy and stuff, or in the show lounges sometimes it's a little cool. That's pretty much it. I don't really take a lot of jewelry on board just because it's risking getting lost and more you have to keep up with. I don't even take my wedding rings. I just wear this little silicone ring instead so that I don't have to worry about it getting stolen. As for clothes that I pack, this is kind of just a standard like daily outfit. It's just a pair of simple shorts and just a regular basic t-shirt that I take, and I like to just dress comfortable. Nothing too fancy. Sometimes I will, some days I'll have just like a tank top and I'll kind of layer it with another tank top under it or something, especially if it's really hot, but again, doesn't take up a lot of room. From there, I also may pack just a pair of gym shorts and a t-shirt as well. Another thing I always pack is a rain jacket. And this one, it's just, you can see it, it just slips over. It's really, really tiny, fits up really small, and I can just wad it down in the bottom of my suitcase and it doesn't take up any room either. Another thing for this cruise in particular that I'm going to pack is this cruise has ice skating ring, so obviously it'll be cold in there. So I have just a long sleeve t-shirt for that, for the ice skating shows or for ice skating, and then I have just a basic pair of like yoga pants, leggings. So, and then the last thing I have is my swimsuits that are over there. I also have 2 pairs of like board shorts and a rash guard because of this ship has a flow rider, and when you wipe out you don't want to lose your swimsuit, so just a little extra protection. And then I just carry like 2 swimsuit cover-ups. This one's just a tank top that's kind of big on me that I'll wear over it, and then I have just a comfy little dress that I used to actually wear as a dress, but it got kind of short and it's comfortable, so I didn't want to get rid of it, so now I just wear it over my swimsuits. And I think that's pretty much it clothes wise that I pack. As for shoes, I take my Chacos, and these are what I wear on board the ship because they're big and they're bulky and they take up a lot of room in the suitcase, so I just wear them while traveling. And then I take my Crocs because even though they're ugly, my feet start hurting after a little while, so change shoes to keep my feet comfortable, and also they can get wet and all that, and it's fine. Along with my Chacos, another reason why I take those. And then I hate tennis shoes. I am not a tennis shoe person, so some cruises I don't even take them, but this particular cruise they are going because it has a rock wall, and to do the rock wall I need to have tennis shoes. Or if I'm on a ship that has a ropes course, I will pack these tennis shoes. And they're small, they fit flat. I actually got these one time at Old Navy for $4. I also pack one other thing, pack for this cruise a long pair of socks since it has ice skating and I don't want skates to rub blisters. And then I just pack I just have 3 pair of just regular ankle socks for the sky pad, because you do need to have socks on if you want to do the sky pad on board the ship. Now I'm going to show you some of the just extra things that I packed that I found useful over the years and helpful. First thing is my blow dryer, and this I have one that kind of folds up small, can fit it easy in the suitcase. And some ships do have these on board and some do not. The last cruise I was on did not have any, so I was glad I had it. But even the ones on board are like the small little hotel blow dryers. So if you have thick hair like I do, it takes 29 years to dry your hair, so I just prefer to take my own. And I take my football pillow. You probably don't need that. That's just my hands fall asleep at night when I sleep, so I prop my hands on it. So let's take that in. And I take a little bag of just some medicines. I have some Benadryl, because you never know. I take some Mucinex just in case I come down with something. Take some Bovine. I don't get seasick, so I've never needed this, but I still always take it just in case somebody I'm traveling with has a problem, or one crazy fluke I do get seasick. But so far, I've cruised through some hurricanes and all that, and I've been fine. So, but I still take it just in case. And I take some Aspercream because these ships are big and sometimes it's a lot of walking, so your calves might start getting a little sore. So I take that and rub it if they start hurting. And then I take Neosporin because that's my go-to for everything. Take a couple of Band-Aids, and I also have the scopolamine patch for seasickness. Again, I've never needed it, but it's better to have it and not need it than not have it and need it. And that's kind of it. Oh, I also have some swimmer's ear drops because I have issues after I swim for a while. And then I just have a little thing of Tylenol. So just kind of the small basic medicines that you might need. Sometimes I will never use any of it, and occasionally I've been thankful that I have it. So it's good to have. It's hard to find it on board, and if you do find it on board, you're going to pay a lot of money for it. And if you're traveling with children, children's medicine really is hard to find. So it's definitely important to go ahead and take some like Tylenol, ibuprofen, some Benadryl, some allergy medicine, some things for children. Another thing I pack is some aloe, just in case I get sunburnt. And I like the aloe that has the lidocaine in it. As you see, I have really fair skin, so sunburn's bound to happen. And then I also pack some sunscreen. And I have like lotion and spray. I take both. I do still take a mask just in case I end up somewhere in port or something that requires it. So far, I have not. So I've never needed it, but I have it just in case. And another thing I take, and this is really, really helpful because the cabins are small and there's not a lot of storage space, is I take a clothes basket, and it folds up small. I can just fit it in the top pocket of my suitcase, and when I get there I pop it out. It gives me somewhere to put my dirty clothes. Also, like if I'm traveling with a friend instead of Sean or something like that, it keeps our clothes separated so we don't end up getting each other's clothes mixed up at the last day trying to get home. A few other things I pack that I found really helpful is I take this facial lotion just in case my nose and face get sunburnt. That kind of helps with that. And I take a small little travel pack of Clorox wipes. Just, again, I really haven't ever needed them, but you never know, so I have them just in case. And obviously my toothbrush, toothpaste, and things like that is helpful. Another thing that you may not think of that I've taken every cruise and is thankful is this little bottle of Downy Wrinkle Releaser. So when my clothes come out of my suitcase, especially like my dinner dresses and stuff, I spray them down real quick the first day, hang them up, and by the time it's time to wear them, the wrinkles have fallen out and I didn't have to iron. And most ships do have an iron, but it's not in your cabin, so you have to like go to a certain deck to find it and use it, and so then you got to share it with 4,000 other people. So to me, it's just, I just pack the wrinkle releaser, and that's all I've ever needed. And then the other thing is I take some kids detangler spray because ship hair gets really, really knotty when all that wind and my hair is just long and straight. So it helps make it not quite so bad to get a hairbrush to go through it after I've been sitting outside all day. And then I do take just a small thing, contact solution, contact case. I did forget a contact case one time on a cruise. I thought I had it packed and I didn't. And we had 3 days before we made it to a port, and there, would you believe, not a single contact case on that ship. I tried every shop. I tried calling the medical center. Nobody had a contact case, so that was pretty miserable. And another thing, if you wear contacts, I also pack an extra pair just in case one rips. I always just have an extra pair as a backup. And then I also take my glasses just in case. And then the last thing, I do take just small travel size shampoo and conditioner. They do have that on every ship that you can use. I'm just picky on my shampoo and conditioner, and I feel like the ships make my hair feel pine strawy and just yucky, and doesn't get all the knots and tangles out. So I just prefer to take my own. Now that you've seen everything that I kind of put in my suitcase, I'm going to show you how I pack it and how I actually get it to fit in the suitcase. So for this trip, I am using these packing cubes, and I have two different sizes. I have a big one that I'll put all of my clothes in, and then I have just a little bit smaller one like this that I'll put like my swimsuits, underwear, all that kind of stuff in this one. I just used these for the first time on my last cruise a few weeks ago, and they do help save space much better than just putting the clothes directly in your suitcase. But I haven't decided if I really like them or not yet. I'm using them on this trip since I bought them and trying to still decide if I like them. In the past, I have taken each outfit and just put it in a gallon size Ziploc baggie and squeezed out the air, and I've also that way been able to fit a lot of stuff in my suitcase. So I'm still trying to determine which method is better and which method I can fit more stuff in a small amount of space. I also have this one that I'll put my tennis shoes in, and also if you're packing tennis shoes, make sure you take advantage of every nook and cranny that you have. You can shove socks down in the shoes. Take advantage of that little extra space that's inside your shoes. Now I'm going to show you kind of how I fold it and then how I end up placing it all in the suitcase. So the first thing I do is my socks and my jackets, I don't actually put in the packing cube. I put them down in these little like nooks inside the suitcase. It's kind of between where the like handle goes in and out for the wheels. And I will show you a picture of that. The jacket, I just fold it up real small, as you could see in the picture. Put it in a nook, and I do the same thing with this little cardigan. And that way, again, it goes back to take advantage of every little space you have. Don't let any bit of air get in there to waste any kind of space. Next thing I do is I roll my clothes and try to get them as tiny as possible so that I can fit them all into this packing cube. So how I fold the shirts, this is just a t-shirt, regular t-shirt, and I'm going to tri-fold it. I'm going to try to tri-fold it really, really small. So I'll bring it over like that, and then I'll bring the next one over like this, and I'll still like kind of tuck the sleeve in. So I don't know if you can kind of see how I have it. And I'll turn it around. You see how it's really, really narrow. And then, I know you can't see this part, I'm going to take it and roll it as tightly as I can. And it doesn't have to be pretty. Like, it's okay if it gets some wrinkles. That's where the wrinkle releaser will come in handy later. And see, I got it really, really small, and I can fit a lot of them this way side by side. As for the tank tops, like this, I fold them pretty similarly to the t-shirt, but I take this top part and just fold it down like this so that I kind of end up with a even rectangle. And I tri-fold it just like I did the t-shirt to try to get it again really, really narrow. And then I roll it as tight as I can roll it. And I end up with just a small little spot. And when I put these in the packing cubes, I do put all the t-shirts together, and then I line up all the tank tops together. And I also, again, try to take advantage of all the little corners and nooks and crannies so there's, again, no extra space left behind. As my dresses, sometimes it depends on where I end up with room. Sometimes I kind of just put them in like this, just lay them on top of the packing cube, like on top of the t-shirts and things like that. Because when I try to roll them, they end up just getting bigger, bulkier and all that. It's almost easier to kind of lay them flat across the top of the cube versus trying to roll them. And my shorts are the same way. Shorts don't roll very well. They're thick and hard. So I just fold them just like this, and I put them in a corner, and I stack all the shorts together, and then that's when I put the shirts and the tank tops and all of that around them. My gym shorts, because they do kind of fold well, I will fold them in half, and then I fold them in half again, and then I kind of tri-fold them here so that they're folded pretty small, and then I kind of just squeeze them around in different little areas that I have left. I think that's it for that. So I'm going to pause you and speed you up so that I don't bore you while I'm trying to fold all this and put it in, and then I'll pick you back up in just a few minutes. Now I've got everything in the packing cube. All of my clothes are in here, as you see right here. I've got my leggings and my shorts, my pajama pants, and I've got the dresses just kind of laid out on top. Now this tank top's on top because I thought I had everything in. I realized I forgot to put that in. Underneath them, you can kind of see how everything is kind of rolled up and fit up in there. I got the tank tops rolled down in there and gym shorts just thrown in the way. One thing I realized I did while I had you sped up is I changed my suitcase. I ended up putting my formal dress in the little crack here with my socks, and I still got the cardigan there, and I took my rain jacket that I had and shoved it in my shoe. Remember, like I said, never let any wasted space. So now I'm going to get this zipped up, and I will show you how I get it into my suitcase. Now I am going to do my swimsuits and cover-ups, underwear, all that kind of stuff into this smaller packing cube, and then I'll get it into the suitcase. And I really don't have a particular method like I do on the clothes to how I get these to fit, just because they don't really take up that much room in the first place. So I kind of just try to lay them as flat as I can and kind of just stack them to get them all to fit. So I'm going to speed you up again for a minute so I don't bore you while I'm trying to fold and get it situated. I've got this packed, and I still have, as you see, I got a lot of wiggle room in this one, and like I did in the one with my clothes. So this one I'm going to actually fold in half, and they have these little buttons on them where I can fold them in half and snap it together like this, so that way it's a little smaller. And then I'm going to fit it just right back here in this corner, and I've got to kind of, I'm going to have to shove it down in there to get it to fit. And now I've got this other small little space, plus I have a little room on top that I can fit some things. So I'm going to show you how I get everything else to fit. A little challenging. And this is the bag that has, remember, my tennis shoes, and also I shoved my rain jacket down in the shoes. So I'm going to throw them in next because they're pretty big and bulky, and I'm going to shove them down in this little crevice down in here. And then I'm going to throw my blow dryer in next on top of that, because again, it's kind of bulky. And then left, I still have the aloe, which I can fit right here in this little corner beside the blow dryer. And then I've got the sunscreen. It can just kind of fit right there on top. And I have the laundry basket, which I'm actually going to put in the top part. And as you see, I have another one because my friend that's traveling with me on this trip, I'm bringing one for her too. So she didn't have one, so I just stuck an extra in so the two of us can have a place to put our dirty clothes. And then I've got a little medicine bag that I can fit right here beside the sunscreen. The mask I'm going to also put up here in this little pocket. And put that in there. Here. And then going to fit my football pillow. Just kind of lay it on top right there. Bring the thing down. Going to zip it up. And then in here, this outside pocket right here, I'm going to put all of my shoes. That's that. And I kind of just stack them on top of each other and squeeze them in. And remember, I'm going to wear these shoes, so I don't need to pack those. I'm going to fit my box in here. Zip that up right there. So now that is packed. So the next thing I need to pack is my backpack. So in my backpack, I put in this little laptop package. I swear I put my boarding documents, and so it's really easy to get to. I put them in this little folder, and I put my passport in here, my vaccine card right there just in case I need to see it. That's my CLIA card to show that I'm a travel agent, because I have to show proof of that when I get on board. And then I haven't printed my travel documents yet, but I'll put those in there as well. So that way, when I get ready to board, I can just quickly grab it out. It's all right here and ready to go. And when you book your vacations with me, I will, when I mail you your travel documents, I will send you a folder, so you'll also have one. You can just take it directly out of the package I send you in the mail and put it in your carry-on bag, and it'll be there ready. Add your passports or your birth certificate, whatever you are traveling with. From there, in this pocket, or actually I will put, this is my camera case and stuff. I stick it in the main pocket, and then I put my glasses in the small little outside pocket here. I take a little notepad. On my last cruise I forgot this, and I wanted to like tip my cabin steward extra and stuff and leave him a little note, and I had nothing to write on. So I think I had to like rip a piece of paper off of something else to be able to do it. And then I take a few pens. I also take a Sharpie marker and I put that in here. I take a lanyard because to me that's the easiest way to keep up with your card. That's like your room key, works to get on and off the ship. You pay for everything on board. Like that is your number one. You will need that constantly on board the ship. So I bring a lanyard and I put it in this outside pocket so that as soon as I get my card, it's ready to go. And I pack my prescription sunglasses. That's just in case something happens with my contacts and I can't wear my other sunglasses. I also will pack my other sunglasses too. I also pack a deck of cards just because you never know when you not want to play cards. I like to play games a lot, and it's kind of relaxing to me to just go sit up at the buffet area and just play a game of cards. And then in this pocket I put some chapstick, especially in case my lips get sunburned, and some hand sanitizer. Another thing that I found is really, really important, because there's not always, it depends on your ship, but there's not always a plug beside your bed. So pack a long phone charger, so that way if you need to reach it across your room. I like to sleep with my phone by my head, so if I wake up in the night I can roll over and see what time it is, or if I need to set my alarm to get up in the morning, it's right there and it'll wake me up. If it's across the room, I probably will sleep right through it. So I put the phone charger in this bag. And then the other thing I have that's important is there's not a lot of plug-in space in the cabins, and just about everything I have plugs in with a USB port. So I have these little blocks. I have 2 of them, and there's usually only about 2 plugs in the cabin. So I have 2 of them that I can plug in, and that gives me 6 charging ports. So those are handy. I think they were like $8 or $10 on Amazon. Not very expensive. And another thing that you can take is you can take a converter, because there are outlets to like European outlets and stuff like that. So if you have a converter, you could use that as well and use those outlets. And then the only thing I have left to pack is, as you noticed, my bathroom bag did not make it in the suitcase because it's just too big and bulky. So I'll shove that down in my carry-on right there, and then I will put I'll have to flatten it out a little better, but I'll get it in there to fit. And then I have a small little throw blanket that's in the dryer right now, so that's not why it's packing, that I will take as well. That's just, again, you don't have to have it. The cabins have plenty of covers and blankets and stuff. That's just my preference because I like a soft blanket touching me when I sleep, so I just pack that. And then I am all packed, ready to go. I hope that this video helped give you maybe some ideas of things that you might need to pack that you haven't thought to pack before, or some tips on how to fit it all in a small suitcase so you don't have to tote such a big bulky suitcase with you. And if you are getting ready to cruise, I hope you have a great cruise, and maybe I will see you on board a ship at some point.